What's going on, y'all? It's Lebanese Jesus again here doing another review, and this time we're gonna go with Marvel Does It Again. Now, I understand that people have a problem with they tend to think that Marvel doesn't have consistency with their timeline. I tend to differ because, in my way of seeing things, how I vision these movies is a lot of these movies are happening when other movies are happening. It's just people tend to want certain movies to start to have that movie first before a certain different type of movie. But if you watch these movies consistently and you pay attention to everything that's going on, to me, what I think is these movies need more than one watching. You have to watch it more to try to see and understand what is going on. Now, with this movie, I never thought that I would ever see a Doctor Strange movie, but then again, I never thought that I would ever see a Captain America movie or Iron Man movie, because what Marvel is doing right now is they're taking all these B-list and C-list characters and they're basically giving it to the world, and the world has embraced it and accepted it. And they had this whole thing of when they did these characters and they finally brought the Avengers together, it basically brought me back to my childhood. Now, taking that and for them to go and make Guardians of the Galaxy and saying that this one is going to be basically the one to prove and be that it's not all about Marvel, that the comic book world and the whole cinematic universe is going to collapse, to see what that movie did, and then to have that same fear as working on Ant-Man and seeing how Ant-Man did, and then for the public to just enjoy and watch these movies as a popcorn flick, is truly remarkable. But never in a million years did I ever think we would get Doctor Strange. But then again, they did give us Black Panther in the Civil War movies. But getting Doctor Strange and the way Marvel does it, to me, that differs from what DC does, is that Marvel gets these directors, and I'm not saying they give them the total freedom. They let them make their style of movie, and then they make it fit into the universe that they have created, which Kevin Feige basically oversees. They give them the formula and just tell them do your own movie, as if what they did with James Gunn. I love the movie Slither, and what Gunn did to Guardians of the Galaxy, it completely amazed me. And I think that the Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite movies, definitely in the top three, with The Winter Soldier and Civil War, which I thought Civil War was a phenomenal movie. And depending on what people may think about the villain, I did love the villain in that movie. Now, Doctor Strange, they went out and they got Scott Derrickson, who did Sinister. I love the movie Sinister. I think it's a great horror movie. Despite the last 10 minutes and the ending of the movie, I think it kind of fell apart a little bit, but I love that movie a lot. And I did hope, because Doctor Strange is just a character, it gives you this horror feel, and watching this movie, it does have a lot of horror elements in it that a lot of people won't pick up on, but it's just great. And then you get Benedict Cumberbatch to play Dr. Stephen Strange as a neurosurgeon who basically has a car accident, and he loses basically his livelihood, his hands, which he does everything with. And he has to go on a search with the Ancient One, and he runs into Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is Mordo in the movie, and he takes him to the Ancient Ones, and she's explaining to him basically that the world is not what it appears to be. And throughout that process, it gives you a good way of explaining the movie to you without basically beating you on the head with it. And just by watching the movie, you understand that it looks like and it seems like all of this training and everything and him learning the magic took about 3 to 4 days. But the way that they shot the film and explained everything, it basically lets you know that this happened in a year or maybe 2 years. And they give you all these references in the movie that basically say to you and tell you that this movie is basically happening around the same time that other Marvel movies are happening. I'm not sure that they were referencing Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel in this movie while he's driving in his car and saying certain things, or Rhodey about a former military sergeant who got paralyzed and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure that there were hints, a little Easter eggs there for people to catch up on. I have to do a little more research to try to figure all that out. But then I love the villain, I love Mad Mickelson. Hannibal was one of my favorite shows, and I was pretty upset that they canceled that show because I thought that show was really really good, especially for the 2 seasons that they gave us, and I thought him playing Caecilius was really great. I never thought that they were going to bring in Dormammu at the end, and I loved the fact how they played. It wasn't your typical, oh, you have to do this basically to save the city. They played with time, and they referenced time a lot. And during the movie, watching it while they were referencing time, I kind of figured that one of the Infinity Stones was in the movie, and it turned out that one of the Infinity Stones was around Doctor Strange's neck, which was the Eye of Agamotto. And I love the fact that I thought Tilda Swinton was great as the ancient one, especially how she carried the movie. Seeing what happened, I'm not going to spoil nothing in the movie, but seeing what happened, I don't know what's going to happen with her character and stuff like that. But you have Benedict Wang playing Wang, and I thought he was fantastic. Rachel McAdams' chemistry with Cumberbatch, I thought it was really really good, and it was basically a comic book come to life. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I thought it fit into the universe that they have created so far, especially with the timelines and what's happening, especially what's coming up next in 2017 with this and how they're gonna basically mash everything together. There's a mid-credit sequence, and then there's a end-credit sequence. Stay for both. I think one of them is really really good. The other one is good, but one of them I really really enjoyed, and kind of showed you the tone of movies that are coming up in the future and how Doctor Strange is basically going to blend with all these superheroes in the world. And it was just a new take, and I love the direction that Scott Derickson took us on. I give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I think there was a little hiccups here and there. I think they could have explained certain things a little bit more, but overall I enjoyed the movie, and I can't wait to see it again. I think it's great, and definitely I think it is, the way they built it, it is a great movie to go and see in IMAX 3D. I hate 3D, but I think this movie with the 3D, it fit in so well with the Inception look, but it's Inception times 10 with how they basically did everything with the folding. It's just a great movie. Go watch it. It's basically could have been a summer movie that we could have had in the summer that basically would have made the summer a little bit better. But I really love this movie, and I can't wait for Doctor Strange Part 2, and I can't wait for him to meet all the other superheroes and interact with them as well.